For a better understanding, you might want to check out the previous part. If we take a simple bodily feeling like hunger, it's linked to a physical sensation like a growling stomach. That's essentially what we feel or notice, and an underlying need to eat. So the body sends us signals about needs that are important for us. If we ignore those needs for too long, the system of signal and need can start to get disrupted. Meaning, the body may stop sending signals even though the need is still there. The body still needs food, but at some point it kind of adapts, almost as if it learns that you think you no longer have the need, which of course can lead to health consequences, especially when it comes to something like nutrition. But what about a feeling like sadness? What does it actually mean when we say, I feel sad? What is that feeling made of? What is it connected to? The first step is to look at what physical sensation signals sadness in the body. Hunger is signaled by a growling stomach. Tiredness by heaviness in the body. But what about sadness? And that's not so easy to answer. And it can look different for different people. Yeah, maybe it's a sinking feeling in the stomach, a lump in the throat, pressure in the chest, or a kind of heaviness in the body, but different from the heaviness of tiredness. And what needs lies behind sadness? What is the body actually asking for? What would need to happen for the body to stop sending that signal? Again, this can vary from person to person. But generally something like comfort might be the underlying need. For one person, that might mean reassurance, hearing that things will be okay again. For someone else, it might mean validation, like hearing, yeah, what you're going through right now is really hard. Someone else might just need a hug, physical closeness, affection. And another person might simply need to talk, to express how they feel and how difficult things are now. So in my view, it's incredibly helpful to understand two things. What signal your body is sending and what need lies behind that signal. For example, the need for comfort. And then how to meet that need in a way that actually works for you. Because this is where people differ. What happens if we ignore sadness? If we ignore the feeling and don't meet the underlying need? To simplify it, it's similar to hunger. The signal, the physical sensation may fade even though the need is still there. And if the need goes unmet for too long, it will eventually have consequences. Applied to sadness, that could mean you stop really feeling it. Maybe because you've gotten used to it. It becomes your normal. And the underlying need for comfort starts to fade as well. At some point, you might not even remember why you were sad in the first place. But that doesn't mean everything is fine now. If a need goes unmet for long enough, it will have effects. What exactly those are, I leave to your imagination. One important difference: the need behind hunger, so food, is usually easy to identify and relatively easy to fulfill. The need for comfort, however, can be much harder to meet. First, you have to know what actually helps you. And if that need involves other people, you also need to have those people in your life. And I haven't even touched on something important yet. How we can actually intensify sadness by acting against our own needs through our thoughts. For example, after a breakup, thoughts like, I will never find someone else, or I messed everything up, will likely make the sadness stronger. But more on that another time.